In my first Ben & Jerry's Copycat video, you guys all agreed that sometimes life just calls for a pint of their famous ice cream and a seat on the couch. Whether you've had a stressful week, going through a breakup, maybe watching a sad movie, etc. Obviously, things get a little more difficult when you're on a fitness journey and trying to eat in a calorie deficit, just given the macros of an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Lucky for you, I've made 3 more macro-friendly flavors to satisfy your sweet tooth. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE, and today we're going to be making 3 more high-protein, low-calorie versions of your favorite flavors of Ben & Jerry's. So today we're going to be making Phish Food, peanut butter cup, and chocolate brownie. So if you're excited to see me make these ice cream flavors, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel and I post new videos every week. And with that, let's get started. So the first flavor we're going to be making is Phish Food. So you guys might be wondering, like, how is she even gonna make this? Like, this is probably the hardest flavor to make. And you're right, it was the most difficult flavor of the 3, but it ended up being my favorite. So it has 3 mix-ins: marshmallow swirl, caramel swirl, and fudge fish. So in this recipe, I use pea science protein, of course, as I always do. This time I use the chocolate truffle flavor. If you want to purchase from PE Science, please use my discount code FIT15. It is a whey casein blend. So I haven't tested this recipe with just whey, but many people on the internet have made protein ice cream in the Ninja Creamy with just whey protein, so I'm sure it'll work just fine. But PE Science is the go. So for the protein milk, I decided to use Dairyland. So this is it right here. I never used it before, but I'm working with them on a brand deal and I absolutely love this milk. So it has 18 grams of protein per serving and it worked so well in this recipe. I would highly recommend it. You can get it from like pretty much any grocery store. So as you could already guess, like I wasn't able to find fudge fish anywhere, obviously. So I just used milk chocolate chunks. I basically got like a dairy milk bar and I cut it into chunks and just used that. But if you can actually find chocolate fish or fudge fish, all the power to you. When I was figuring out how I was going to recreate this recipe, the first thing I thought of was like, how am I going to do the marshmallow fluff? Because you can't just use like actual whole marshmallows. But I found this like jet puffed marshmallow cream. I think I had seen it before in grocery stores, so I knew it existed. And I was happy that I found it. Worked really, really well in this recipe. But of course, if you can't find it, I'm sure you could just use like regular marshmallows. It won't necessarily blend as well, but it'll still work. And then for the caramel layer, I use biscoff. This is like the most similar thing that I had on hand and I figured it would work really well. I ended up adding it to the top on the end. I just mixed it with a little bit of water so it was a bit more viscous. This flavor was so decadent, but obviously has way less calories than Ben & Jerry's version, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. So next we're gonna make the peanut butter cup flavor. So I didn't have the PE Science peanut butter cookie protein on hand, so I decided to just use vanilla. So yeah, you can use vanilla, or if you have a peanut butter flavored protein, obviously feel free to use that. So the secret ingredient that I use in all 3 of these recipes that I haven't really used before is xanthan gum. So this is Bob's Red Mill. Basically, it's like a thickener slash binding ingredient. You only use a very small amount, like 2 grams, but it made a massive difference to these recipes. Like normally, sometimes when I make recipes from the Ninja Creamy, at the bottom it gets a bit icy and everything isn't necessarily blended as well as I would like. But this just made everything blend so well and it made the texture so much better. I would highly recommend using it. It'll just ensure that your ice cream has like a better consistency and everything is just blended better altogether. So I use powdered peanut butter to give it that peanut butter flavor and tint. It worked really, really well in this recipe. And I use a 0-calorie sweetener. This time I use Swerve 0-calorie sugar, so it's like a 1-to-1 substitute. Of course, you could use whatever you have on hand. So after the first spin, you'll see that I add like a little bit of almond milk. So this is to give it a bit of a softer consistency. So you could add like more or less almond milk depending on if you want hard ice cream or like soft ice cream. I love myself a soft serve a lot of the time, but I know some of you don't really like that texture. And of course we use Reese's peanut butter cups. So I blended one of them in and then half of one I crumbled on the top there. This was so delicious and I dug in right after I made this recipe. And finally, we've got the chocolate fudge brownie flavor. So in this recipe, I meant to use the fat-free chocolate pudding mix as opposed to vanilla, but I ran out and I didn't want to get more. So it worked just fine in this recipe. Like you'll see it still turned out chocolatey because of the unsweetened cocoa powder and the chocolate protein powder. So just use whatever you have. I also use peace signs in this recipe, as well as the other two recipes. Obviously, I use the chocolate truffle flavor in this one. I don't know why I didn't use xanthan gum sooner. Like, I just didn't think to use it, and I feel like not a lot of people are using it. Obviously, all my other Ninja Creamy recipes still turned out, but guys, like, I'm gonna admit it made such a big difference. And every single time, like, you know it's gonna turn out, whereas sometimes without the xanthan gum, like, occasionally it would be a bit icy or wouldn't blend as well. But yeah, highly recommend this. This is not sponsored, by the way. If you guys are looking for more tips, I also find that freezing it for the full 24 hours makes a big difference as well. I know sometimes it can be hard, it's hard to wait, or if you freeze it the night before and then want to eat in the afternoon the next day, obviously it's still going to work, but I find that you get the best results with the full 24 hours. So I'll usually kind of scrape the outer edges with a spoon after the first mix before I do the mix-ins. This is like an optional step. I don't actually know if it does anything. And for the chocolate brownie part, I actually use Alpha Prime Bites brownies. I use the chocolate donut flavor. It's so, so good. And it adds an extra bit of protein to this recipe. You can use my discount code FIT15 if you want to purchase them. They are worth it. And now we're done, we can dig in. Comment below and let me know which of these 3 flavors was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below and let me know which Ben & Jerry's flavor I should make next. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you're looking for more Ninja Creamy recipes, obviously. So I'm going to link a couple other videos here that you should watch after this. And please give this video a like, subscribe, and share with your friends, as it really helps the channel and I post new videos every week. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.